All right, and we are back. This is episode 29, I believe it is. This is Calgary Flames Franchise Mode 2018, or NHL 18, 2019-2020 season. We have just finished the month of October in the previous episode, and now we are set to start the month of November. So welcome to what I believe is episode 29. I'm so confused here. We have so many episodes at this point, and we're in the grind of it here, so I think it's episode 29 as we start the month of November. So yes, welcome back to our franchise mode here at the Calgary Flames. In the month of October, it was a very successful start to the season. I should say we did start off with a 2-game losing streak at the hands of the Washington Capitals and the Vegas Golden Knights. In fact, we actually lost twice to the Washington Capitals in the month of October. But that didn't stop us from going on a couple winning streaks, especially a 4-game winning streak here at the end of the month of October, where we outscored our opponent 21 to 2. Our opponent, 21 to 2 in those 4 games. Pretty good month, pretty good month and pretty good finish, if you will, for the Calgary Flames that improved to 8-3-0 on the season. You can see our record there as we head into the month of November. So not a bad start to the season for the Calgary Flames. We are poised again to be a Stanley Cup favorite. Obviously, that is our goal, is to win the Stanley Cup, 1 year removed from losing it by 1 goal in Game 7 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. So the march begins now back to the Stanley Cup Finals. Just taking a quick look up here, Blake Wheeler leading the team with 12 points. So he has not been getting it done in the goals department. You can see just 1 goal. We brought him in thinking he was going to be that finisher on that line with Tavares and Gaudreau, when really he is becoming the playmaker. So that is good to see. I think he's a playmaker anyway, or a two-way forward. I don't think he's listed as a sniper here. Let's take a look here. Power forward, that's what he's listed at. So John Tavares is our sniper there. Gaudreau, they list him as a sniper. We all know he's a playmaker. But Blake Wheeler is the power forward on that team, but on that line, but he's getting it done in the assist department. Like I said, leads us with 12 points there on the season, so that is not bad. John Tavares there, 2 goals, 5 assists, and Johnny Gaudreau, 6 goals and 5 assists on that top line. So not too bad. I've been very impressed with some of those players, especially down here. Spencer Foos had a very hot start to his rookie season, 3 goals and 4 assists. He's been on fire. We took out Cedric Parquet in the last episode, put in Derek Roy. Tyler Ennis has been playing all the minutes down here. He's a +5. So I wanted to bring in Lee Stepniak. He has yet to come in this season. Thus, through the first month of October, we have yet to address Lee Stepniak, but we're doing so good. We're going 8-3-0. We really don't need to make too many lineup changes. These top 3 lines we have not touched the entire month. The only line that we touched was Derek Roy here. We took out Cedric Parquet and put in Derek Roy about halfway through that month of October. So really, we have not made any lineup changes. But again, the team's doing so good. Guys like Spencer Fu and Tyler Ennis are doing so good on that 4th line. So there's not really any need to make a lineup change anyway. So we're not going to do that. It's down here on our defensive pairing where Slater Cuckoo and Rasmus Andersson at times have struggled in the month of October. You can see Rasmus Andersson is an even in the plus-minus category, and Slater Cuckoo as well. Both have yet to record a point, but that is okay. They're not there to put up points, but both even when it comes to the plus-minuses. So they're not in the minuses just yet, but we also have Oliver Chillington, who is waiting as our extras down here. Not extras, scratches. Oliver Chillington and Lee Stepniak and Cedric Parquet. So what I think is what will happen is we'll maybe go through this month of November, but if we do not make like any lineup changes like we didn't need to do in the last episode in the month of October, I think we might send 2 of these guys back down to the American Hockey League, because I'm looking at Oliver Chillington here, and he has a 2-way contract, right? So we could send this guy back down to the AHL, let him get some playing time, and then call him up when we need him. And same with Lee Stepniak. When we signed him there in free agency, we signed him to a 2-way contract. Or no, he's only got a 1-way contract. What am I looking at? Was it Parquet? One of these forwards, I thought. It might be Spencer Fu then. So it's probably Spencer Fu. But even still, I mean, we still have Cedric Parquet. If we really wanted, we could send Lee Stepniak down. I doubt anybody's going to claim him. I mean, we just signed him as a free agent when nobody else wanted him. So, I mean, we could really take the gamble and send him down to the AHL just because he's not getting any playing time. But I doubt anybody would claim Lee Stepniak. I mean, 36 years of age. Nobody's going to claim this guy at 77 overall. So I'm not concerned about sending Stepniak back, and same with Oliver Chillington. We have that option, but I just they're just not getting any playing time because our lineup's been good. But again, we're only through 1 month right now of the season, so let's just wait and see. We might struggle and drop off in the month of November. So we have to wait and see, because maybe we might need to use them for a lineup changes. You remember last season we started off in October going 9-2-2, and then we significantly dropped each month. I think until about February or March, until we picked our play back up. I think it was about February. But after the month of October, our record went down and down each month, and was pretty much a similar start to this season. I mean, we went 9-2-2 one season ago in the first month. We went 8-3-0 this season in the first month. So pretty similar numbers in the first month of the last season and this season, but hopefully we do not drop off like we did last season. I mean, we still made it to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, but just say it would be nice to stay in the front and in the lead if we can. You can see there in our divisional standings, if we go back here, we are second in our division behind the Arizona Coyotes, of course. 2 points back of the Coyotes. We're tied with the Vegas. One less game, though, played than Vegas. 16 points there, 2 back of the Arizona Coyotes, as mentioned. So we're doing pretty fine right now through the first month, but again, it's only 1 month. So let's get right into the month of November. I don't see any reason to slow down here. Like I said, we're not going to make any lineup changes at this point. John Gibson has also started every game. He's been fantastic for us. I think we'll check a look at the stats after the month of November and get a better gauge of where everybody is in the league, and we'll see where our players are. But I want to look at where John Gibson's numbers are compared to the other goalies in the league, because he's got to be one of the top goalies in save percentage, goals against, wins, and all that, because he has been fantastic through the first month of October. So we are welcoming the Winnipeg Jets, Blake Wheeler's former team, in the house, and they got on the board first. It's former line mate Mark Scheifele, beating Anton Khobin. And why is Anton Khobin in net? I have no clue. We didn't make a change there, so I don't know why Khobin is in net. Hopefully Gibson didn't get injured, because that would be a massive loss for us. But let's just see. A second period looks like this. We get on the board. Sean Monahan beats Eric Cormier. I believe that's Monahan's first of the season, but I could be wrong. So 1-1. Do we get the lead in the third period and win? No, they do. We get one more from our sensation rookie Spencer Fu, but Kyle Connor and Ben Sherratt get the next 2 goals to propel the Winnipeg Jets to a 3-2 win. So our 4-game winning streak has been snapped to start the month of November. So that's obviously not good, but we're now 8-4-0 on the season. So just taking a look here at some of the numbers. Nothing really standing out there. The plus minuses, again, we only scored the 2 goals there. Top guys played there. But I want to look at why Gibson didn't play. So Gibson only played 3 minutes and 36 seconds of the hockey game. Then Anton Khobin had to come in. This was Anton Khobin's first appearance, as I mentioned off the top of the episode, his first appearance there in goal for the Calgary Flames. But big concern is why John Gibson came out of the net. So let's hope it's just a 1-game injury. Those happen here and there, where the player is injured for just 1 game and is back by the next game. Because we really need John Gibson back. We cannot afford starting off this episode with a massive loss to our MVP in John Gibson. So let's pray, and I don't see any message pop up, so that should be good news for us. It looks like Gibson is ready to come back. So obviously we will play. It's back-to-back nights. We'll play him because he pretty much didn't play that Winnipeg game anyway. So we will play Gibson against his former team, the Anaheim Ducks. They're 7-3-1 Pacific Division rival. I have a feeling it could come down to Calgary and Anaheim at the top of the division this year. They're doing pretty good. I think they were not far behind us there in the standings, but they're always a threat to us. Where are they? They're 4th right now in the division, so maybe not, but still they're only a point back of us, really. But this is John Gibson's real former team. Although he played half of last season with the Tampa Bay Lightning and won the Stanley Cup, his real career stats have come with the Anaheim Ducks, obviously the team he played with for his entire career up until about trade deadline last season. So we'll give Gibson the goal against his former team. Not going to make any lineup changes. I think we did okay. We only lost the Winnipeg game there by 1 one goal, but we'll see if we lose this one, then we'll probably make up some lineup changes here. So let's jump right into the Anaheim game here. Flames Ducks, I believe it's the first meeting of the season between these two divisional foes. First period, Ducks get on the board. Patrick Eves, the Calgary native, beats John Gibson, his former netminder. 1-0 Ducks. Second period, come on Flames. And there is Max Jones, beating Gibson. Do we have 2 goals at least in us in the third period? Come on, Flames. We have 1, but Eves gets another one, and John Tavares beats Michael Neuwirth. We dropped this one by a score of 3-1 in the Honda Center to the Anaheim Ducks. So we have now just lost 2 games straight after going 8-3-0 in the month of October. We start off with 2 games straight, two straight losses, in the month of November. I mean, we did start off the month of October with 2 straight losses, but let's hope we can rebound just like we did in the last month. So -3 for James Neal, Matthew Tkachuk, Jake Bean, and TJ Brody struggling on that second pairing at a -2. Sean Monahan and Blake Wheeler -1. But that second line really struggling. Tkachuk, Neal, and Monahan not doing too well in this one. Just looking at our leaders there, so that's pretty much where it was. Gibson, he does play the whole game this time, gets a .912 save percentage, so that's back to himself. Makes 31 saves on 34 shots, so he's back to playing the way he was. So it looks like that was just a minor injury that he suffered in that Winnipeg game, but he is back with a pretty good performance despite the 3-1 loss there. But we will move on from that 2 straight losses on back-to-back nights, and we'll move on to Vancouver. I think we might make a little lineup change here because, we only scored 3 goals there, and in the 2 games, we can score a little bit more, but it's more for a change to the lineup. So maybe we'll try bringing in Elise Stepniak or Cedric Parquet on the lineup, and I don't think we'll worry about Slater, Cuckoo, and Rasmus Anderson because they haven't really struggled in the last 2 games, but we'll try making a minor lineup change here and just see if that can get us out of the funk of this 2-game losing streak that we are in. But we'd like to be out of it. Like I said, let's see if we can bounce back. So I don't want to take Fu out. He's just been fantastic. But Derek Roy, since coming in, he's played pretty well too. Since coming in for Cedric Parquet in that last episode, he's got 5 points in 6 games and a +7. That's hard. And Tyler Ennis, he's got a +6 rating through 13 games and 7 points. You know what? I don't think we're going to take these guys out. They're doing fine on the 4th line. It was the second line that really struggled in the last game, but that's probably just a 1-game thing. So you know what? Let's just leave the lineups. How's this 3rd line doing? Okay, so Mangiapane is in the minuses. He's a -3, a -2 for Mark Jankowski with only 2 points. Yeah, so this 3rd line is struggling. -4 for Stieg. So, you know what? Let's try changing some things up a little bit. Let's try sticking Spencer Fu up here with Jankowski and Mangiapane. Let's drop for Stieg, the veteran, to play down here with Ennis and Roy, and let's see if that makes a difference at all. I don't think we need to worry about replacing any of those guys just yet, but that 3rd line, yes, has struggled a little bit to start the season. So let's jump in. We are welcoming the 6-1 Vancouver Canucks. So let's jump into our 3rd game of the month of November, and let's see if we can get our first win of the month of November. So we're starting off 0-2 to start the month of November. So first period, Flames and Nucks. There we go. Slater Cuckoo, Johnny Gaudreau getting the 2 goals for us. Second period, they respond. Former Flames Sven Berchi scores for the Nucks, and let's see if we can pull off the win and hang on in the 3rd period. We do. We add 2 more goals, and we win this one by a score of 4-1. Sean Monahan and John Tavares beating Jacob Markstrom for the final tallies there of this one. So that's obviously what we like to see. Just looking here in the plus-minuses category, in the points, there's Tavares and Wheeler with 2-point nights each. So better response there by that second line, I think. Oh, no, that was the first line, Tavares and Wheeler. But the first line, or second line, let's see how they did. Just want to look here. Wheeler, they didn't play a lot. Okay, so that second line actually played the least amount of minutes. So Maybe that was our coach's decision to play Neil, Monahan, and Kachuk, the least of all of the players. They had the least amount of minutes in this hockey game of all of our skaters, but maybe that was the coach's decision after a very poor performance, in the last game there against the Ducks. These three really struggled, so I have no problem with them getting benched for quite a bit of the game here in this one, but we do pull off the win. So 9-6-3. Obviously, I don't want Kachuk, Neil, and Monahan benched like that or playing that type of minutes going forward, but obviously for one game I don't care. They did have a poor start, and I do like to keep this realistic. I mean, they did have a poor game, but I do like to keep this realistic in the fact that if that was real life, you'd probably see that. You'd probably see their next game with reduced minutes after the performance that they had in the prior game, which was not too strong against the Ducks. But let's see if they can regain themselves now here against the Arizona Coyotes. They're 12-3-0 to lead our division. Like I said, we are 9-5-0. I believe we are pretty close in points. We should only be 2 points back of them. Possibly. Oh no, we are a few points back. Actually, we are 6 points back at them. Okay, so they have a 24 points in the Pacific. The Edmonton Oilers have 20 points. We have 18. So yeah, we're 2 back of the Oilers and 6 back of the Coyotes. But we do have less games played than both of them. We have 2 games in hand on the Oilers and a game in hand on the Coyotes. So I mean, we still have room to make that up. But let's see if we can stay atop our division and beat the top team in our division, the Coyotes, who are off to an incredible start to start the 2019-2020 season. So let's jump right in. And let's see if we can get the much important W in this one. So, first period of play, they get a goal, we get a goal. John Tavares, Anthony Duclair trading goals here in the first period. Second period, Flames and Coyotes. There we go. 2 quick goals. There's a good response by Andrea Mangiapane, beating Cam Talbot, and Johnny Gaudreau beats Cam Talbot. So yeah, I forgot the Coyotes went out and got Cam Talbot in the offseason. They got the biggest free agent goaltender. Remember, we were going to go and get John Gibson Cam Talbot, and we instead got John Gibson. So we could have very well had Cam Talbot instead of John Gibson this season. So that was the game. Oh no, there was one more period. I forgot. Sorry. Wheeler scores twice. Tavares, Domi, Keller scores twice, and we finally we prevail. By a score of 6-4. So what a wild third period that was. That's what combined 6 goals in the third period. Yeah, I mean, they fought back, but we held on there with a 6-4 win. So a wild game in this one. Not a good night for the goalies, but that is okay. But yeah, I was just thinking of the fact that we could have had Cam Talbot as well on our team, but we're happy obviously with John Gibson. So anyways, let's get back to it. John Tavares has a really good night for us. 2 goals, 2 assists, 4-point night for John Tavares. Johnny Gaudreau on the line, 3 points as well. 2 points for Dougie Hamilton and 2 points for Blake Wheeler. 2 goals in this one for Blake Wheeler. His first multi-goal performance of the season for the Calgary Flames. +3 for that top line, +2 for Gaudreau, but +3 for Hamilton as well. So looking pretty good in terms of the guys that struggled. Rasmus Anderson, Tyler Ennis, the fourth line struggled. The third pairing struggled. Slater Cuckoo, Derek Roy, Christopher Stieg. So that line does struggle a little bit. The fourth line does. So I wonder if we maybe we try taking out one of these guys. Maybe even Christopher Stieg, because like I said, he struggled. And let's try taking out one of the guys on the pairings, because I want to give Lee Stepniak and Oliver Chillington their first action as a Calgary Flame. So John Gibson goes 8-6-2 in this one. Probably his poorest performance of the season, but it was a wild one against the top team in our division. They do score 4 goals on us, but we obviously win it 6-4. So let's go up to this Boston game here. They are 11-4-2 on the season, so they're one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference and probably in their division. So let's go right up to this Boston game, and we'll make a couple lineup changes going into this Boston game, despite being on a 2-game winning streak. So we have bounced back since losing 2 straight. We have gone 2-2 to start the month of November. So we are back to 500 in the month of November. But I just want to make some minor changes here on our fourth line and third pairings because, like I said, I want to get Oliver Chillington and Lee Stepniak some time here on this team. So Ennis again and Fu have played well, so let's try taking out Christopher Stieg. He has really struggled, -6 so far on the season. Maybe if he sits for a little bit, that will help him. But we'll bring in Lee Stepniak on the right wing here to play there with Roy and Ennis. And then let's go to this defensive pairing down here. Rasmus Anderson and Slater Cuckoo. So Slater Cuckoo is in the minuses. He's got 1 goal. I don't think it's going to matter. Oliver Chillington, I think, is a left shot. So, both medium potential. Let's take out Cuckoo for a game here. We'll bring in Oliver Chillington. Like I said, I think Chillington's a left shot, and he is, so it doesn't really matter what. We'll put Chillington and Anderson in on the third pairing. We'll scratch Slater Cuckoo there, and we'll try these lines, see if they make a difference at all. But let's get right into this Boston game. So we are on a 2-game winning streak. Let's see if we can keep it going here against, like I said, one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference in the Boston Bruins. First period, they score first. Jake DeBus, I can't even say it right now, but he beats John Gibson, 1-0 Bruins. Second period, nothing there. Third period, nothing. So they beat us by a score of 1-0. We are shut out against the Boston Bruins. 29-29 are the shots on goal in this one. But they do beat us by a score of 1-0 on the goal by Jake. I can't even say it. Okay, I wanted to try again, but I can't even get it right now. So I'm just gonna keep tripping over that. So not the best night, obviously, all around. A pretty good night for John Gibson, 966, 28 saves on 29 shots. But we are shut out against the Boston Bruins. So hoping that is just a one game thing. Let's move on to the Detroit Red Wings. Excuse me. When this menu will load, and let's see if we can bounce back with a W here against Detroit. So we are snake bit for goals in that one. Not good to see. So let me take a drink here. 10-6-0 on the season, though. Still pretty good, but I mean, can be doing slightly better. I was right. We have slightly dropped off here in the month of November. But let's see if we can pick it up and finish strong here. So let's sim this Detroit Red Wings game. Got to bounce back in the W column here. First period, they get 2 goals. Franz Nielsen, Dylan Larkin for the Red Wings. Second period, we respond with 2 quick goals. John Tavares and Spencer Foose. So this game is deadlocked at 2. We're heading into the final frame. Calgary Flames, and we win it. 2 more goals by the Flames. So 4 unanswered goals by the Flames in this one. Johnny Gaudreau and Blake Wheeler finish off the scoring, and we do bounce back with a huge win. That's a huge character win. Whenever you're down 2-0 like that, to be able to bounce back in the final 40 and score 4 unanswered and get the win, that's what you like to see. So pretty good night there for our second pairing. Johnny Gaudreau, Blake Wheeler, multi-point nights as well, and John Gibson, 9-2, also another good night for John Gibson, despite allowing 2 goals. He keeps his save percentage over 900. Pretty good night indeed. So let's move on to the Senators and the Anaheim Ducks again. Back-to-back nights here. I think that's 2 games in Anaheim. Right? Because, yeah, both of them are in Anaheim. We lost the first one there 3-1, but hopefully we can win the second one. But first, we got the Ottawa Senators at home. So let's play this one first. Stockton 9-5-5, as you can see down there on their season. So again, we're not expecting Stockton to be a contending team in the AHL, but nice to see that goalie that we signed in free agency get a good start with us anyway on that 9-5-5 start. I think it was there for Stockton. So Ottawa 5-11-3. They are really struggling in their division. Where are they here? I just want to look quickly. They are, they're 7th in their division. Their Boston was number 1 in their division, as we thought. 26 points for Boston, but Ottawa's down there. Oh, you can see we have dropped down to 4th. 22 points. We have dropped down a bit in our division, but we do have games in hand again on the top teams. Edmonton and Arizona. We're tied with the Ducks, though, in terms of points. So, anyways, let's jump right into Ottawa. Let's sim this game up. They are struggling, so this should be a win for the Calgary Flames, but you never know in the National Hockey League. First period, we do get 2 goals. James Neal, Matthew Tkachuk, they respond with Colin White. Second period, come on, Flames, wow, they get 3 goals in a row. 3 unanswered goals by the Sens in a row. Nick Paul and Bobby Ryan get in, so we have to find a way to win this game. I mean, this is a bottom team in the league right now. We have to be able to fight back and win this game. Third period, we do not, so that is not good. I talked about the last last win being a huge character win coming back. We don't do it in this one against a struggling team. They find a way to hang on, but we have to win this type of game. I mean, this is against a bottom team. We're expected to be a contending team for the cup. We can't be losing to these type of teams. So not good at all. Mark Jankowski struggling at -2, a couple -1s there, but I think we'll make a minor lineup changes. 900 save percentage there for John Gibson. But we have to find a way to win that game. That's not good to see. Against such a bottom team. But we do get an opportunity now to go against a divisional foe in the Anaheim Ducks. You can see we've dropped temporarily to 5th in our division with that loss. So let's sim to this next game here, and then scouting. Yeah, okay. So we'll go back to the Ontario Hockey League. We'll do the forwards here for 5 weeks. I think that's what we are doing. So 5 weeks here. Yeah, we gotta be able to bounce back here. So let's see if we can finish this month strong. It's been a so-so month for us. We have struggled slightly, especially compared to our start against in the month of October. But Lee Stepniak, what have you done in your first few games? You've gone +1. Ennis, have you gone down? Yeah, he's gone down to a +4 because he was, I think, a +6. Let's try taking out Derek Roy. Let's put Cedric Parquet back in. And we will try taking out Lee Stepniak and put Christopher Stieg back in. Just for this one. We'll keep Fu up there with Mangiapane and Jankowski for now. Jankowski did struggle, but we'll keep him there for now. Excuse me, he did struggle in the last game, is what I meant to say. Oliver Chillington, how have you been in your first couple of games? He's been a -1 in his first 3 games. So we'll take him out then, and we'll put Slater Cuckoo back there because he has not done anything in 3 games. And make these minor changes and see if we can reboost our team here. So okay, so let's go here, Anaheim Ducks. So this is a big divisional game. I know it's only the month of November, but this is a huge divisional game. I mean, you're already looking at the standings, and we need to beat this team to climb back up top the standings. We want to be near the top of our division. There's no reason we can't win our division, so we want to obviously, sitting in 5th right now is not fine with us. We got to be back up there. So huge divisional game here. First period, oh my goodness, they score 4 straight goals. Kessler, Case, Perry, and Vermette. Andre Cass, sorry. They score 4 straight goals. We get one from James the Real Deal Neal, but my God, they beat us with 4 quick goals, and it's John Gibson again against his former teammates. But they seem to have his number. They know his weak spots, I guess, because they have scored 4 in a row. We do get the one. Can we bounce back in this massive divisional game? They score another one, and then we get one from Dougie Hamilton. I don't suppose to bounce back in the third. We get one, but they get another one. So not a good night for John Gibson against his former team at all. I don't know if this was on the defense or if this was just a bad night for Gibson, but my God, that is not good. So let's take a look here at who struggled. So Rasmus Anderson, Slater Cuckoo struggled in the -2s again. Johnny Gaudreau and John Tavares and Blake Wheeler, they were in the minuses as well. So the top line struggled, the third pairing struggled, second pairing a little bit there, but really that third pairing and the top line. John Gibson, yes, that's by far his worst performance, obviously, of the season. 760 save percentage, so not good right there for John Gibson. But we'll move on. A 6-3 loss. We can move on from that. We'll just we'll put it behind us. We'll forget about it. We got another divisional opponent here, but we have just lost 2 straight back-to-back nights at the hands of the Senators and the Ducks, and we are dropping in our divisional standings. But it is very early in the season, so let's just see if we can bounce back here against the San Jose Sharks. And then we got still a few games here to finish the month. We got Avalanche and Canucks, the Stars, Blackhawks, Islanders, and Winnipeg Jets to finish off. So a very busy month of November for the Calgary Flames. I didn't see how busy that month was. So we are probably only just past the halfway mark of the month. So let's see if we can pick it up here, guys. I just want to replace... I think I'm going to try Anderson out, and we'll try Oliver Chillington in. just because Anderson has struggled now lately as well. So we're just tweaking that third pairing right now because they are struggling a bit. 11-8-0 on the season. Let's see if we can improve on that record. Come on, Calgary Flames. This is another big divisional game. The Sharks are right behind us with 17 points. We have 22, but we got to get back atop our division. So huge bounce back game here for the Calgary Flames. First period, nothing. Sharks and Flames. Second period, come on. There we go. 4 straight goals for the Flames. Tyler Ennis, Mangiapane, Giordano, and Hamilton. They get one from Thomas Hertl. Can we hang on in the third period? And we do. They score 2 goals, but we get another 3. Dougie Hamilton second. Mangiapane. Is that a hat trick for Mangiapane? I believe it is. Kevin LeBlanc and Nikolai Kulemin. Is that Nikolai Kulemin? He scores anyways, and it is 7-3 final Calgary Flames. Nice to see our offense break through in this one. The Sharks were, like I said, just below us in the standings, but Bean and Brody struggling in this one. So Bean and Brody have been good for most of the season, but lately they have had some pretty bad games where they have struggled out there. So if that continues, we'll have to tweak, maybe put Bean up there with Giordano and drop Hamilton or something like that. We'll just have to tweak the top 4 if they continue to struggle. So just look there, yeah. Neil also, and that -2. Excuse me. There's a better night for the third pairing. Slayer Cuckoo goes +3, whereas Oliver Chillington's +3 as well. Andrew Mangiapane +3, and he does get the hat trick in this one. So first career hat trick, I believe, in the NHL for Andrew Mangiapane. 3-point night as well for Dougie Hamilton. A 2-point night for Jankowski, Tavares, and Goodrow. So that's what you like to see. Offense breaking through in this one, led by an Andrew Mangiapane hat trick. 8.5 save percentage for John Gibson, so not his best performance either, but he's been good for us for most of the season. So we'll take that 7-3 win, excuse me, and we'll move on to Colorado and Vancouver. So let's see if we can string together another win streak, because we got to start getting some wins here. We have been very inconsistent this month. Started with 2 straight losses, then 2 straight wins, then a loss, a win, 2 straight losses, and another win. So let's see if we can get the consistency to be a little bit better, and hopefully it's good consistency in terms of wins. So here is the Colorado Avalanche Flames Avs in the Dome. First period, nothing. Second period, 3 goals. James Neal, Kachuk, and Neal again. Mikko Rantanen scores for them. Third period, do we pull it off? We do. 4-1 is the final. Blake Wheeler possibly into the empty net, I think it was. And the Calgary Flames hang on for a 4-1 win. So that's what we like to see. Much better night for Jake Bean and TJ Brody, because Bean goes with 2 points in this one. Brody didn't have any points, but they managed not to be in the minuses, excuse me. James Neal, Matthew Tkachuk, Blake Wheeler, all multi-point nights, as well as Jake Bean. And you can see there the plus minuses. The third line struggled just slightly in this one. John Gibson back to 9.60 save percentage. So Gibson back to himself in this one. That is a huge 4-1 win, and we are now back to winning 2 in a row here. Can we make it 3 in a row against the Vancouver Canucks? We probably should give Anton Khobin a game here, but let's see here. We got Vancouver 13-8-1. We got 11-8-1, Dallas, Chicago 11-9-2, Islanders 11. Maybe we'll give Gibson one of these 2 games here, probably the Islanders. Or excuse me, not Gibson, Hudobin, and then we'll play Gibson the rest. I mean, again, the idea is to play John Gibson the majority of the season as much as we can, and I want to keep it realistic. I mean, I know in this game you could play him all 82 games, but in real life you don't play him all 82 games. So, I mean, I'll give him a lot of starts, probably more than in real life, but we still have to play Anton Khudobin, here and there as well. So, first period anyways, Flames and Nucks at the Rogers Arena in Vancouver. Former Flame Marcus Granlund scores for the Canucks, and Andrew Mangiapane, after a hat trick in the last game, gets another goal here, beating Thatcher Demko. 1-1 after 20, second period, nothing, and the third period, nothing, so we're going overtime, and no, there's the third period, and they scored 2 goals, Vanek and Nikolai Khudobin, and they beat us 3-1, so not too good there. We were just starting to put some wins together, and now we have lost another, and it's to another divisional rival. Second top line, struggling once again in this one. Bean and Brody, there's another -1 game for them. So we got to start clicking things back together, because our inconsistency is definitely taking over once again. 9.26 there for John Gibson, but man, this month of November has just been very inconsistent. So that's not good. So let's move into here to Dallas. I'll keep the lines the same, just for now, because, I mean, we got to start getting something together here. Let's see if we can start another winning streak. You know, want to be atop our division here. So here we go. Stars, Flames in Big D. There's 2 goals. Blake Wheeler and John Tavares. So that is good. 2 goals from our top line. Second period, nothing. Do we hang on to the third period? We do. 2 more goals. Oliver Chillington, I believe that's his first as a Calgary Flame, and maybe first NHL goal for Oliver Chillington. In fact, it is his first NHL goal, so that's good to see. And Sean Monahan as well. So the Calgary Flames beat the Stars by a score of 4-1. So nice to see Chillington pick up his first NHL goal. And first as a Calgary Flame, and the Flames getting another win. Another good night for our top line. They seem to have a good night, like a really good night, then a poor night, then a really good night, then a poor night. So I don't know, but a 3-point night there for Tavares, 2-point night for Blake Wheeler, Johnny Gaudreau in there with 1 point as well. So that is a pretty good night for the top line. And another good night for John Gibson. Like I said, probably 85% of the games Gibson plays will be very good nights in terms of save percentage. So we will go Chicago here, and then, like I said, we'll put Anton Khudobin, in against the Islanders, and then we'll go back to Gibson for the Jets. But we'll give Gibson the Hawks as well here. We need wins right now. We need to finish this month strong. I mean, let's see if we can finish 3 games left. Can we finish off with a 3-game winning streak? Or I guess it would be a 4-game winning streak because we won our last one there. So first period against the Flames and the Hawks. They score a Butler, but we get to go back from our captain by Mark Giordano. Second period, come on Flames. Okay, they score 3, we score 2. Gaudreau and Jankowski, the goal scorers for the Flames. Can we pull off a comeback in the third period? Come on, Calgary. We don't. Connor Murphy scores, and they beat us 5-3, so not a good night there. There is our inconsistency. But anyways, move on. We got 2 games left to finish the month. Just taking a look here. 2-point night for Giordano and Hamilton. And our top line. There it is. They struggled in this one. They were so good in the last one. It just doesn't make sense. I think they are, they're basically they're setting the bar for our team, because when they struggle, when they have inconsistency, our team has inconsistency. But when they're on the top of their game, our team's on the, it just, I don't know. But our top line is going to have to get a little bit more consistent than that. So, yeah, we've been very inconsistent in this month of November, which is obviously not good. So, so we got the Islanders and the Jets, and then this month is done. So, let's go make a minor change here. So, and make that minor change. Sorry, to the goalies. We could make a lineup change, but let's finish this month and then evaluate where our team's at and see which guys struggle. But let's give Anton Khudobin a full game here. Give John Gibson the night off. Give Khudobin his first actual start of the season here against the Islanders. So let's simulate this one. They are 500, so that's why I did it against this team. So let's go first period here. Islanders and Flames. We get 2 goals. Tavares with both of them. Beating former Calgary Flame Mike Smith. So that's good to see. Second period, we get another one by James Neal, but they do beat Khudobin with a goal by Andrew Ladd. Do we hang on and win this one in the third period? We do. 2 more goals. John Tavares gets the hat trick. Dougie Hamilton pots a goal as well. Flames win this one 5-1. So first hat trick of the season, I believe it is, for John Tavares. Expect to see a few of those this season. For a 4-point night for Tavares, so I believe that's his second 4-point night of the season. Gaudreau, 3 assists on all 3 of Tavares' goals, likely, so that's good to see. But again, there's our top line. After struggling the last game, there they are, back with another good game. Wheeler was probably in there somewhere as well. And then Mark Giordano, 2-point night, as well as Dougie Hamilton. And yeah, they were obviously in the pluses. Anybody in the minuses, just a little bit there on that 4th line. And then another good, or a good night, for Khudobin. So his first NHL start, or first start with the Calgary Flames in the NHL. Obviously not his first NHL start, but first start with the Flames in a Calgary Flames uniform, and he did pretty well. So that's not bad. So we finish up the month against the Winnipeg Jets. So let's throw John Gibson then back into this one, and let's finish off the month of November here against the Winnipeg Jets. So Khudobin plays really well in his Flames debut, but let's put Gibson back between the pipes. and see if we can at least finish off this very inconsistent month with a W versus the Winnipeg Jets. So they're 13, 10, and 1, obviously, on the season. So let's sim up to this one, and then we'll finish off this episode by taking a look at the standings, and then maybe some of our player stats through the first 2 months. This will be a shorter episode, obviously, but we'll keep these month-by-month episodes short as possible, and hammer them out a little bit faster, and get ourselves back to the playoffs faster. Anyways, Jets Flames first period in Winnipeg, nothing. Second period, they score. It is Patrick Laine beating John Gibson. Third period, do we have a comeback in us? Come on, Calgary Flames. We don't. We do get one, but they get 3 more, and they beat us 4-1. So, what a very inconsistent month of November it was. I believe we fall to 7 and 8 in the month of November. So we actually fall below 500 in the month of November. In the month of November alone, excuse me, we are 15, 11, and 0 on the season, but we have gone 7 and 8 and 0 on in the month of November. So after a very hot start in which we went 8, 3 and 0, we dropped to 7, 8 and 0. So a very poor month of November, as you can see here for the Calgary Flames. Just it seems like every time we won a game, we lost a game. I mean, we pretty much go 500 in the month. We just go below 500 in the month of November, and it will probably result in us plummeting in the standings, obviously. And there we are. Yeah, we're sitting in 5th. So let's take a look at this to finish off the episode. And then we will hopefully we'll start the next episode, but hopefully it will be better for us than this month of November was. So there we are. We were second to start. We were second in our division to start the month. We were second in the Pacific. You can see we are now 5th. We are just clinging on to a wild card spot. Excuse me, at this point. But yeah, obviously a very poor. Month of November has us to a point percentage of 57.7%. So not a good month there for us at all. Obviously 30 points there. We are only 1 point back of the Ducks, and only a couple points back, 3 points back of the Canucks, and only 5 points back of the Oilers and Coyotes. But I mean, we could have easily been atop our division. Obviously a lot higher anyway, if we had a much better month of November. I mean, if we played even, half of what October was, would probably be a little bit higher than we are now. But anyways, we are hanging on. You can see there's a drop off after us. There we are with 30 points, but it drops off after us and goes down to 21 for the Sharks and the Kings, and Vegas sitting at 18 points. So I mean, we are 10 points pretty much clear of the Sharks and Kings, but we're fighting for these top teams here. No reason we can't be 5 points higher, and probably more than that, to be atop our division. So that is what it looks like in the Pacific Division. Just looking quickly here at the Western Conference. There, we are about middle of the pack in our conference there as well. But we could be atop that as well. We could be atop the West. We could be atop the Pacific. There's no reason we can't. That was just such a poor month. In terms of our players, after 2 months into the season, 26 games into the season, 2 months exactly in, Johnny Gaudreau leads us with exactly a point a game, just over 27 points in 26 games, 10 goals, 17 assists. John Tavares, his line mate, is just behind him by 1 point, 26 in 26 for John Tavares, 12 goals, 14 assists. Third member of that line, 1 point back of Tavares, Blake Wheeler. So you can see our top line is clearly carrying us through the first 2 months of the season. Pretty much all of them a point a game, 25, 26, and 27 respectively in terms of points. There was no doubt about it when we went out to get Wheeler that he would be playing very well when he was put on that line with Tavares and Gaudreau. So far he has done just that, 25 points in 26 games for Wheeler. And then Dougie Hamilton has 20 points for us, leads us among defensemen. There's James Neal with 15 points, 9 goals, 15 points. Jake Bean has come in nicely, 15 points despite a -1. He has got 15 points in 26 games. His pairing with TJ Brody, they've struggled a little bit, but hopefully they'll pick it up. They really struggled there in the month of November. But like I said, hopefully they can pick it up there. But obviously, when we went out to get Jake Bean, that's what we expected to see out of him. 15 points there in 26 games. Sean Monahan, that might be a bit of bit of a surprise. He's only got 14 points in 26 games. You'd like to see a little bit more of that second line because there's Monahan, there's Tkachuk also with only 14 points. James Neal has 15 points. So you'd like to see a little bit more of that second line. If they could play a little bit better behind that top line with Tavares' line, that would be a lot better for us in terms of offense. It would give us a little bit more stability back there in terms of offense. So we need our second line to pick it up. Don't forget, they should probably be one of the better second lines in the NHL. I mean, we're talking about Tkachuk, who's an 88, Monahan, who's an 88, and James Neal, who's an 84. That's got to be one of the stronger lines in the NHL in terms of second lines. That's got to be one of the stronger second lines in the NHL. Because probably on most teams, that would be their top line. 88, 88, and 84 probably be their top line. For us, it's our second line, so they got to be better. There's Spencer Fu, our sensational rookie. He's played so well in his rookie season there. 14 points in 26 games, plus 8 for Spencer Fu. That's what I like to see. So again, this guy just made the team out of training camp. He wasn't even paid to make the team. I mean, I put him in training camp, just giving him a shot. And he beat out 2 other guys. He beat out Lee Stepniak and Derek Roy, not only for an NHL spot, but then he also beat out some other guys that didn't even make the NHL. I think Emile Poirier was one of them. So Spencer Fu really came out of nowhere and just fought for a spot. And look at him. He's on the team, and he is among the top leaders in terms of points. Like 14 points playing, and he got promoted to the third line in this video. I think we'll keep him on the third line because he's just playing so well right now. So that's really good to see out of Spencer Fu. There's TJ Brody. Like I said, he and Bean have struggled slightly, but still 13 points out of Brody and 15 out of Bean. And Brody's actually now a +2, so that's better than I thought. Mark Giordano, 11 points. Tyler Ennis on the fourth line, 9 points. Mangiapane, 8 points. Jankowski has struggled to start the season. Once again, 8 points and a -2 rating. There's Derek Roy, 5 points in 11 games. Versteeg's really struggled, -6. And only 3 points in 23 games, so he'll probably be sat a little bit more. Slater Cuckoo, Cedric Parquet, and then Oliver Chillington in 10 games just had 1 point and +3 rating. Lee Stepniak's only played 3 games, but like I said, I think I might take out Versteeg for a bit, bring in Stepniak because Versteeg's really struggled. Rasmus Anderson -2 through 19 games. So that's what it looks like through the first 2 months in terms of our roster players. Goaltending, there should be no surprise that John Gibson is leading the way. Obviously, like I said, .928 save percentage. So is Anton Khudobin, but he's only played 2 games. It's only really started 1 game. But Gibson, .928 there through 25 games. 14-10 in his start with the Calgary Flames. So, So that is it for this episode then. We will end this episode here. Like I said, I'll keep them quicker. I will bring them out a little bit faster, but this month of November was just not a good month for us at all. We went 8-3-0 in October, and then we go 7-8-0 in the month of November. A massive drop-off, but let's see if we can somehow fix this inconsistency in the next episode in the month of December.